What's up, guys? It's TechnoViking23 coming to you today with some Raid Shadow Legends, and we got a fun video today where you're actually going to jump into some Minotaur 15 and some Spider 20. We have managed to actually cut down our times, make them even faster. We've gotten both Minotaur 15 and Spider 20 down to an 8-second time, which is pretty awesome, and it's all due to us pulling a special epic champion today during the Pull One Get One Legendary event, and that is the Dark Elf Spider. Now, I actually been clued into this guy for a little bit. HD60, who's one of my buddies in Raid, actually was telling me when I was brainstorming some of my speed teams that Spider actually does have the fastest decreased defense weaken animation in the game when we're not breaking the game like you just saw there. So we're going through some of the Minotaur runs here. You're going to see him going after Ethos on these runs. We'll talk about the team order a little bit later, but he basically just comes out, drops that decreased defense, and weaken in the very final round here, and then Royal Guard hits hard, Septimus hits hard, and then everybody comes in and slams. So it's not going to happen every time. I've noticed it's about a 50% ratio on success for the 8-second time, but usually the worst we're going to do is 10 or 11 seconds with this same team that's in here. Elf Guard is just here kind of getting her scrolls done. And so it's really, even when you do fail the run like right here, we're talking about a failure of 14 seconds. So it's still pretty good, pretty fast time. You're able to get your scrolls really quickly. But when it all comes together and everything works properly, it's basically the RNG of whether or not Ethos does an AoE attack, opening up round 3. There you go. There's the 8 seconds after Septimus hits that big shot. And they're good to go. We'll go over the presets for this. We'll talk about the gear and everything a little bit later in the video when we go through the different champions that we have set up here to go. But this is pretty cool. I actually do run this as a preset team in the AI settings with everything saved. It's pretty easy since you could just swap in the champion you want to run scrolls for. It's not something you're going to be changing around all the time, so it's pretty easy and consistent to stay with that. Now we're going to jump into Spider 20. Again, we've got Spider coming out here. Even though he is negative affinity, he places his decreased defense in his weaken, so he's able to still land that. There you go, 8 seconds right off the bat. Now, hilariously enough, I was talking to my former clanmate, Addie, today, and if you remember, she's actually the one who had the 8-second time. I had the 9-second time, which was number 1 for a while in Claw, and then she got the 8-second and beat me, so we were kind of going back and forth. And so I told her today, I was talking to her on Discord, I said, hey, look, I actually got the 8-second to work. We got Spider in there. I was kind of telling her about Spider a little bit. So she went and did hers and actually got me again, and is now the, I believe, world record holder on Spider 20 with a 7-second time. I'll throw a screenshot up here of her team so you can kind of see that. She's got insane gear on her Septimus and Cold Heart, so they're able to two-shot this boss. She uses Mordu Macabre for the speed lead, so that Septimus can have basically all attack, be slow speed, and do all attack percent, I believe, on the boots. So pretty awesome though, but I was able to get mine to 8 seconds, and I'm pretty happy with that. Now this team is basically 100%, and what will happen here is if for some reason the first 3 Cold Hearts cannot take the Spider down, we've got the 4th Cold Heart in there in case of emergency. You'll see a failed run or 2 here where, again, our failed run is going to be 10 seconds, so it's still not that bad. It's basically for when we run those auto battles. We can still drop a pretty quick time if we are farming Spider 20. I usually do farm Spider 25 though for clan versus clan, but if you want to conserve some energy and get it done a little bit quicker, you do have the ability now to farm Spider 20 pretty quickly when you don't break the game like my team seems to be doing here every so often. Raid has been freezing a lot tonight for some reason. It's very odd. But you can see there, 8 seconds again. It's a little bit more consistent on Spider than it is on Minotaur, just because the Cold Heart damage is going to be a little bit more consistent across the board. But again, it's just getting that decreased defense and that weaken out. If you miss the weaken, usually it's going to be a 10-second run, as you see there. But Spider is a pretty cool champion, and he's basically able to enable this by having that fastest animation in the game for the decreased defense and weaken. Faster than Draco, faster than Lydia, faster than War Maiden, who we were actually using in Minotaur prior to this because she had a fast animation. So pretty cool, and I just wanted to kind of show this off a little bit. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump over into the champions. I'll show you guys the gear, the masteries, and everything, and we'll talk a little bit about the team setup. Alright guys, so you can see here we're now into our champion roster. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the champions we were using on these two speed teams for Minotaur and for Spider 20. Now, not much really changed from the last time I did these videos showcasing these speed teams. The only big difference is that we changed to Spider, who, as I mentioned, has the fastest decreased defense and weaken animation in the game. Better than Draco, better than Lydia, faster than War Maiden. We actually had been using War Maiden, surprisingly, as a rare champion because she had such a quick animation time on her decreased defense. So we didn't even really need to take him much past his level 40. I went ahead and ascended him just for the heck of it. Didn't give him a ring. You can see here his gear is not even fully rolled up. We just tried to get a decent amount of accuracy and get him speed tuned to fit into the Minotaur run more so than the Spider run. Spider run, it was just making sure he would go fast. My cold hearts aren't that fast, so he didn't have to be that much quicker than them. But for the Minotaur team specifically, he did have to be at this exact speed, so he would go right after Ethos on that very last wave of the Minotaur. His masteries don't really matter. We can see we're actually working on his masteries as we are doing the Minotaur farm, so we may fill these out. I don't really see myself ever taking him past level 40, so there's really no need to take him above 4 stars. He can do this at 4 stars. You don't even really need to ascend him. Now, what we did do is we did try to get some books into the glowing mark so that we could get this buff debuff chance all the way filled in to get that 100%. Now, the weaken, that's the one thing that you're kind of RNG on. The weaken is not always going to land, and that's why you saw some of those Spider runs would be 10 seconds. The 8-second run comes when he lands both of the debuffs. I think some of his books did go into some of the other. Yeah, I had to spend the first like 5 went into Calamity. So I wound up having to spend a little bit more than I wanted to, but if you can get the books into this one here, it's kind of nice. You know, really not sure you really need to book them. It's just you want to get that debuff chance up really high for consistency. So that's kind of a look at him. I mean, you could look at his total stats here. 211 speed. Again, he's in there just to be speed tuned with the Minotaur run. 272 accuracy. Really nothing else is important. You don't really need anything else on him there, unless you plan on using him in other areas of the game, which I'm not sure where. I'm sure you could find a use for him, because that decreased defense being so quick, coming out that fast, could probably help you slow down, or not slow down, speed up your runs in some other places. Now, I do have my 4 cold hearts who we did pull back out for this video. Since we've been farming Spider 25 so much, I really don't use too many of them. I can just show you their overall stats pretty quickly here. You can see 199 speed, 79 crit rate, 261 crit damage on this cold heart. And I want to say I have them all in Helm Smasher. I'm pretty sure they're all in Helm Smasher. Yep. So we'll go to our cold heart number 2 here, and you've got 80% crit rate, 314% crit damage. Now these are in broken sets. I don't really have the greatest Savage gear on my account, so we do have some Cruel gear mixed in with these. We actually have a Swift Parry cold heart here. I think I've showed her off before, but you can see here 76 crit rate, 313% crit damage. And then on our main cold heart here, we do have 72% and 224, but I believe she is in the Savage set here. So that's kind of how the cold hearts work out. And again, the reason we run 4 of them is just in case the run quote unquote fails and we have to go for the 10-second run. The 4th cold heart is in there to make sure we finish off the Spider. So we have that consistency if we're doing auto battles there. So that's pretty much how the Spider 20 team runs. Now again, the Minotaur team, we got Spider in there again for that fast decreased defense. I've got my Ethos here. I finally did manage to get him in some Savage gear. It's not the best, but I got him to 105, 242. I would like to get his attack up over 5,000 at least at some point. So we're just trying to get that better Savage gear, keep on grinding for it. You can see masteries, he is in Helm Smasher. That's kind of a look at where he is there. Septimus, again, he's actually in broken gear. We don't have good enough Savage sets to build too many champions at this point, even as far as we are in the game, but I did manage to get him over 6k attack, which is pretty solid. 101% crit rate and 248% crit damage, and he is also in Helm Smasher, so you just need to get that big holy sword, slam it in there pretty hard. And then we have Royal Guard, and again, he's in broken gear. That's the thing. I wish I had another Savage set to throw him in. We did actually switch him into Helm Smasher. He was in Flawless Execution before, so we did lose a little bit of crit damage off of that. But you can see here he's at 232, 105, and then just he's kind of speed tuned to go in with the rest of that team there. Now, if I can get his crit damage up, I'm thinking if I can get this up to like 260 or higher, I could probably get that Minotaur run even faster, so that would be pretty cool. But let me actually show you guys what I did with my Minotaur team here, because I was actually talking to HD60 about this, and he made a good point here where he preset his Minotaur team to force his Royal Guard to do his takedown in the third round, because otherwise he'll usually use hamstring instead if it's his first turn. So what I actually did, it's gonna make me do that to look at my preset team. You know what, I need the energy anyway, so screw it, whatever. Let's see. Okay, so here we go. So we got team setup. You can see it's actually a preset team. So what we do is we just take out this last champion. Whoever you want to run your scrolls on is just going to go in this last spot. These other four, we have it set up. Septimus is basically all his normal stuff. But with Royal Guard, what we did is we went to round 3. We forced him to do his takedown as his first turn. Now, we don't have to worry about him using it before that, because he's never going to get a turn before that third round. So everybody else is pretty much set. You know, Spider's going to use that glowing mark kind of by default, so we don't have to really worry about that at all. So we got our first 4 here. These are the only champs we need to worry about. And then anytime that we want to bring in a new champ to run their scrolls, we actually would just pull out this back champ. It's going to save the AI preset for everybody else. You just bring in your new champ, hit your check mark, and go. And then you don't have to worry about the AI screwing up or not keeping the run consistent. So that's pretty cool. But that's kind of just a look at there. And then I guess I can show you also real quick. We could take a look at the Spider team. Really, it's just we have him set up to use glowing mark out of the gate, and then all of our cold hearts are set to use their Heartseeker on that first turn. So pretty simple setup there. Like I said, we managed to shave a second off the time, which at this point in my account, this is kind of the only stuff I really have to do, the only content I really have to work on that gets me excited anymore is just when I can do something like this. So it's pretty cool that we were able to get Spider. I've been trying to pull him for a while. I wanted to get him. And again, I want to give HD60 some credit there, because he did recommend me try to get Spider because he does have that fastest decreased defense animation, so plus the weekend. So it makes things a lot easier if you can get him to go out there first. It's going to shave a little bit of time off those times for you. So it's pretty cool. But anyways, guys, if you have any questions about anything in the video, feel free to leave it down below in the comments. I'll do my best to get you an answer as soon as I can. As always, hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks as always for watching, and I will see you again next time.